Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor. We're back in the Beorninghús, helping the Beornings, and well, we have some additional quests we can complete for Gerta, so let us get going. The best butter. Gerta asks you to make some butter for using various recipes. It would be best to start by milking some of the cows at the Beorninghús. And we also have here eggs. Gerta has asked you to gather some eggs from chicken nests around the Beorninghús. The chickens do not seem to mind. Ah, that's great. We don't need to fight the chickens. You don't want to fight a chicken that's defending the nest. Or for that matter, you don't want to pursue a chicken you're trying to get in the oven. You might need to, but it doesn't look pretty.
Life is sweet, like honey.
While I was walking Sweet Honeyvale, I saw the pond lilies in full bloom, and their loveliness left me amazed. Had I not been so exhausted by the walk, I might have picked some lilies to brighten Grimbeorn's hall. If you venture once again among the Vales, could I ask you to pick some of the lilies for me? The hall could use some decoration and some brightening both. Yeah, that sounds simple enough. Why not? I'm not sure if Grimbeorn will enjoy the lilies, maybe he would. But if he doesn't and Gerta does, well, then that's a moot point. Because Gerta doesn't seem to be a woman you would like to mess with. Better to stay in her good side. Churn the milk. Okay. Where exactly do I churn the milk? Where exactly do I find the last two eggs? Ah, okay, well, here's the churn. 1 and 2.
The bees are buzzing, the birds are singing.
This butter will do nicely. Grimbeorn enjoys a sizable pat of butter on his bread, and it always puts him in a good mood. I must say it does the same for me. Yeah, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't enjoy some good milk? And from the looks of it, it seems the joyous ham is on the outside of the Beorninghús. Here we have the last two eggs. We will double check that in just a second. This is truly a good collection of eggs from our wonderful chickens. I will put these eggs to good use, and I know they will be appreciated by all who sit at my table. I know more than 12 ways of preparing eggs for supper, each of them different and each of them delicious. I believe no one in all the Vales knows more about the preparation and enjoyment of eggs than I do, yeah. If you say so. I will not dare contradicting you. What else do we have here? The Forest Gate and Terror from the Bloodfells. We can do those too. Is Garlic with me? I don't know why he isn't. What? Okay, now those badgers are doing something to us. But since we don't defeat them, they don't count for the deed. The badger is not very happy about you taking that mushroom. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Badger, but I need them. So if you wanna keep fighting me for them, you are welcome to, yeah. I know, the badgers are not happy. That's beyond the point. Here we are back at the forest gate. Legolas greets you as you arrive at the forest gate.
The Lord of the Beornings, like all his kin, can be very stubborn.
And yet, I believe he can be persuaded if he is shown the need of it. I have a plan, Beriathan, but I will need your help to see it done. First, you must defeat some of the threats that remain beneath the canopy in Lasgalen. Grimbeorn must be shown that the elves value the safety of his traders. Once you have defeated some of the enemies that threaten peaceful travelers in the woods, meet me at the Beorninghús. Legolas believes that Grimbeorn may be persuaded to change his mind. Okay, I wasn't expecting to return to Lasgalen so soon. And this forest fox don't count for the quest. The Mirkwood Forest don't count for the quest. So at this rate, I will end up back in Torek fighting spiders. I don't see anything in here that we can fight for the quest. The bear! Nope. Maybe one of those corrupted bears, but not the regular ones. A wolf! That has to be it. Yeah. Well, at least that is something. Another wolf in here. Oh, okay, a couple. That's better. That's so much better. Any more wolves? Just need a few more. Last one. Yay, there we go. Talk to Legolas at the Beorninghús, so we can remove the quest for the time being. Let us go back to the Vales. I hope I don't come to regret using the war stating here, but yeah, let us hurry back to the Vales. So we continue advancing the other quests as well. I mean, the forest gate, you can see right there on the horizon that spot of light, I think. Well, it's not a forest gate, but we're in the right direction. Very nice detail, a very nice detail that in these early stages of the forest you can still see the sunlight coming through the branches a little bit, but I just realized that, but just like the books, the deeper you go into the forest, you then are not able to see the sunlight anymore, and that adds to the oppressiveness of Mirkwood. I enjoy quite a lot how the devs handled it in Lasgalen. I, like many others, first got to know Tolkien's works through The Hobbit. That's the first book of his that I read. So of course, traveling all these locations is so nostalgic for that reason. And the devs knew that, and I think they did an awesome job recreating these places. You too, Carrock? Okay. Glad to hear you think it that way as well. Be a good boy and help me find the mushrooms. Oh no, snakes. Yeah, but... well, the snakes didn't do nothing. Lilies of the Vale. Also need to do that, of course. Alright, we're lagging a lot. I think you had already realized the frame rate is a little janky. And the game in general is not as smooth as it should be. So let us hope that's not something too major. Oh no, more snakes. At least now I know they don't do nothing. Okay, the last mushroom in here. Nothing in here, nothing else, that was it. Ah, and it seems This is also the place where we will find the work leader. Yeah. Orshuru. Pretty big work. You have defeated Orshuruk. We'll need to travel all around this northern area of the Vales, it seems, to gather all the lilies that we need. Ah, pond lilies, yes. Remember that pond I told you about the last episode? That looked so nice? Alright, that's where we're headed next. That and some of the other ponds of this place. Oh. Oh, didn't see you there. That was unexpected. Pond lilies, of course, these things in here. Only 2 ponds, only 2 lilies in this pond, okay. Let us keep looking then. Did you see the pond? I don't see any. Okay. Over here. Only 3 lilies in this pond, it seems. Let's keep looking. You might have noticed already with the stats in my war state and the quick slots, but I got myself a couple of the new bridles. I got the light and the heavy ones. Trying to test them both and see which one I like the most. So far I've only been using the heavy bridle. It works alright. I mean, it's very similar to what I had before with some extra stats, not too much, but still. The light bridle will give us a little bit more agility and maneuverability at the expense of morale more than anything, and some fury contribution, but since we are not doing that much horseback fighting, that doesn't seem to be an issue. Just one short. Yeah, just one lily short. Well, we still need to get to the right place in order to advance a Joyous Gem quest. So we'll still need to get really close to the last pond as well. Whoopsie. Alright, yeah. This is the place. Ah, yes. I remember this one as well. Gert asks you to make jam from scratch. A difficult task, but one which the Beorning matriarch believes you can accomplish. Perhaps it would be best to begin by picking grapes in the orchard. Okay, there we go. I'll need to go back to the Beorninghús for this one, but first, let us look for the last pond, the last lily, and then we'll go back. We can either ride or use the milestone. And we'll most likely use the milestone. But I do enjoy riding and traveling around this area quite a lot. Just take a look at this sunset. How look it good. How good it looks. This is also another huge pond. So it seems you're better off starting with this one and the one we did before, as they have the most lilies in them. Because yeah, the other ones that only have 2 or 3, it's really not worth it going to both of those ponds. You might need to go to one of them, but not both, I hope.
You have done as I asked. Good, good.
I have spoken to Grimbeorn and told him that we have done much to ensure the safety of his traders should they pass into the woods. He did not respond one way or the other, but I knew better than to press the issue over much. Instead, I asked him what you or I could do to assist him here in his own lands. He told me that he would give it some thought and reply soon. I think we have made some progress, Beriathan. After all, a refusal could have been given on the spot, and it was not.
While we wait, perhaps I can tell you a story of recent vintage.
We have some time before Grimbeorn sends his reply, Beriathan. While we wait, perhaps I can tell you a story of something that happened recently, but that you missed. You were kept busy with other events of some importance, as I am sure you will recall, but great deeds were performed here among the Vales of Anduin. My father Thranduil told me of his recent visit here, after the war, and I can speak of it to you if you like.
Since we have some time, let me tell you the story my father told to me.
Yeah, that sounds intriguing.
My story begins not long ago, at the elven ruins of Hroskabel.
Listen to Legolas, okay? Knowing that the war was over, King Thranduil set out for the south. At the Narrows, he met with Lord Celeborn of Lothian. Celeborn was traveling north with word of his people's own victory at Dol Guldur. There at Lyrelat, they called a meeting between the elves and the woodmen. It has been a long while since last we saw you at Rosgovel. Radagast, why have you called us here? It is good to see you both, my friends. It has been far too long and much has kept me away from Lyrelat. I have summoned you here on the behalves of Celeborn and Thranduil. What do the elves wish to speak with us about? I agree with Rickmar. Where are these elves then? They wish to speak with you about these woods. They should be arriving at any moment. Ah, here they are. It is good of all of you to meet us here at the Narrows of the Mirkwood. Radagast, I thank you for hosting us at Rosgovel. Now, as you may be aware, the war is over, and Dol Guldur has been broken and laid bare. The darkness of the Mirkwood has been halted. With this, we wish to reclaim the Mirkwood. We desire to involve you, the Woodmen, in this claim. We shall divide the Mirkwood in 3. Does claim of the Narrows befit the Woodmen? We have lived in these woods for many years. This is our home, and sanctified claim upon them would be an honor. Aye, this would be acceptable. It has been long since any of my people ventured past the eaves. Good, then I shall claim the southern wood. The northern wood shall remain under my watch. From this moment forward, the Mirkwood shall now be known as Erin Lasgalen, the Wood of Green Leaves. We shall begin the long toil of restoring the wood to its former beauty. May the woodmen prosper. We thank you. Travel safe, friends. With that, the woodmen departed. Celeborn and Thranduil had sent into motion a great change for all in Rovania. That's an interesting story.
May this story help you in your dealings with the woodmen of the Vales of Anduin.
Now you two know how the woodmen were granted the middle woods of Erin Lasgalen. I hope this story will be helpful in your dealings with the woodmen in the Vales of Anduin. Yeah, I think it would be. Grimbeorn is possessed of a gruff demeanor, but he cares much for the people, for the Vales of Anduin and the people who live there. If he sees that we care for them as well, he may be more willing to reopen the trade route with Felegoth.
Grimbeorn has a gruff demeanor, but he cares much for the Vales of Anduin and the people who live there. I believe Grimbeorn awaits us with his reply.
Speak to the Lord of the Beornings and learn what he has to say. Let us hope it will be good tidings for my father and for the elves of Felegoth.
I have made my decision.
The elves say they will help us, but only rarely do I see them leave the shelter of the woods, and I hesitate to call on them for aid. The dwarves and men that live in the north have their own problems, and do, as do we, and neither can be a help to the other while his own lands remain unsecured. I have not spent this time idly, Beriathan. No, there is a solution, and it lies on the very edge of my land, on the edge, and upwards. I speak of the great eagles, Eyrie. Those noble birds have aided my people before, and they may do so again. You are a friend of Gandalf the Wizard, and he is one who has the respect of the eagles. Speak to Gwaihir the Wind Lord on behalf of my people, and request their aid. I will send Varthmath ahead to call upon the eagles for a meeting. Yeah! The eagles! I mean, we've met some of the eagles before, but now that we're coming to their own place of living, that would be nice.
Can you say the same?
You defeated the leader of the Wargs? We are fortunate you stumbled upon that color before he stumbled upon one of us, Beriathan. I suppose that is the stalking trait of all adventurers, is it not? But I must say you have more fortune than most I have known. Yeah, good fortune, skill. Who can say truly?
There is little we can do to protect the Vales.
Great work. This should be enough mushrooms for the stew that Gerta is preparing. I shall bring the mushrooms to her. You have been most helpful. Ah, right, that's a repeatable quest. In case we need to get some more reputation. Perhaps a good wash would do before the grapes are crushed. Oh, this is gonna be so nice. Now it's time to crush the grapes. Now it's time to dance and crush the grapes. Yeah, please. Your stamping feet crush the grapes most effectively. You have a batch of freshly crushed grapes ready to be made into jam. Okay. The jar is on the other side of the lodge. But we can take the time to decorate this with lilies. You might have seen already, well, Gandalf is now taking residence inside the lodge. And he has a quest for us, but there's still not the time for that quest. So we are gonna ignore Gandalf a little bit longer. But we'll be back at some point to hear what Gandalf has to say. Now, I wonder, I'm not sure, I don't remember, but would be really nice if the depths were to use phasing or any other sort of technology so that the lilies remain in this place. It looks so much better with the lilies. And I think they do remain in place after you complete a quest, but I'm not sure. It's been a while since I last visited the Beorninghús. The next step, give the honey jar a shake or two. Perfectly shaken. Even though I didn't see the animation, but it was perfectly shaken. That's what mattered. Yeah, I missed it. What's the shake animation? Okay, I missed it. What can we do?
The bees are buzzing. The birds are singing.
This is a splendid jam. You have done well. It will spread well on crusty bread, or perhaps I will add it to a dessert. There are always plenty of possibilities to be found for a tasty jam. Completed. Known to the Wilderfolk. Oh, yes. Yes, that's great. So we have acquired some gold marks. We'll check that deed in just a moment. And we also have a new deed. Friend to the Wilderfolk. Yeah, awesome. Your work has been done well and efficiently, quite like my own children would have done. You have my thanks for each task. We have here the reputation. Where's the Wilderfolk? All the way to the bottom, maybe? Yeah. Looking good. We have deed bestowed, friend with the Wilderfolk. There you have it. We also completed known to the Wilderfolk, 5 LOTRO points, gold marks, and the title. You have reached acquaintance status with the Wilderfolk, 5 LOTRO points, and that means
we do not fear the dark.
Ah, yeah. We can get the Mastering Hold piece. Yeah, I remember now. What's the deal with this? You, of course, only need acquaintance to barter for this, but the currency you need to do so, this Beorning token, you can only get after you have completed everything else in the area. So that's why you can only get the Beorninghús for last. So it seems I was indeed wrong, and we'll need to do a little bit of grinding in order to get the 20 tokens of the Beornings needed to barter for the travel skill. But I hope that shouldn't be too hard either.
The bees are buzzing and the birds are singing.
I am sure the lilies will brighten the whole. Dare I think the flowers might bring a smile even to old Grimbeorn himself? I do dare. I do hope so as well. Well, yeah, it seems we have completed all the quests here inside the Beorninghús. So what's next between the wolf dens and the wood's edge? I will need to see. Or do we go to the Carrock? I mean, let me double check the map and let me see which one of these locations is closer at hand. And based on that, I'll make my choice. But it's kind of funny that we can technically master to Holtby's already, even though we haven't even been there. But we'll need to wait a lot more before we can master in the Beorninghús. I've always thought it should be backwards. You should be able to get the master in the Beorninghús more easily, and then have the master in Holtby's be tied with the other currencies or the dailies that you get at Holtby's. It's what makes the most sense to me. Okay, the closest location is indeed the Carrock. So that's where we're headed. Let me see if I can find the road again. For the most part, I do enjoy sticking to the road. And we have also seen some pages for the Lost Lore tomes are also found alongside the road. So I do prefer to stick to it every time I can. The Carrock. Okay, yeah. Jeez. The Carrock. Which looks so nice. But I do hope I can come back here at daytime and get another picture of it. Varthmath must have already climbed to the top of the Carrock. Oh, and it's gonna be so nice also being able to see the Vales from up top. May the wind under your wings bear you where the moon strides and the sun soars. Oh great. Varthmath.
The Vales are under our protection.
Beriathan, there you are. I have requested a summons. Another here has agreed to take only one of us up to the Eyrie. I think it should be you, for you are a friend of Gandalf, and that may help the Great Eagles decide to side with us. I would recommend that you speak with courtesy to the Eagles, consider a proper bow at the outset, and be sure to make use of as fine speech as you are able. Well, I don't think I will have any troubles with fine speech. I come from Gondor after all. You honor me, yet it is Lord Gwaihir who awaits your presence. Even though, once again, there was no animation, but okay. Ah, yes, we got a swift travel location here. To the Eyrie, yeah. Let's go. Atop the windswept peak, you see some familiar friends. Gwaihir, Landroval, the wizard and the eagle lord appear to know one another and to be on friendly terms. Yeah, I remembered that too. Cordially bow to Gwaihir. Ah, Meneldor too. Gwaihir awaits your word.
I am relieved to see you again, and still whole and hale.
Our paths cross once again, man. I saw you once in the Garden of Galadriel, and now you fly high above your station to the very Eyrie of my people. It is most curious to me that you keep turning up, small one.
Do you need further guidance?
You speak of Grimbeorn and not out of hand, for you know I hold him in high regard. So too did I respect his sire, Beorn. The tale of his great deeds carries on, though he is dead these past few years. His people mourn him, but more than that, they protect the lands that were his, and that is memorial enough. He would have thought so too, I deem. Now the Beornings have sent you to me, man. I will hear your request and perhaps favor this pact, but speak first to Landroval and to Meneldor. They will judge you accordingly. Okay, so here we have Landroval. Good to see you again.
May fortune favor you, friend.
It is good to see you again, Beriathan. I have not forgotten the assistance you provided to me in the Wailing Hills that lay near to the Great River. I have seen goblins and many ill-hearted beasts on this side of the Misty Mountains. Some of them creep out of the Goblin Town, but from where the others hail I cannot say with certainty. And now Meneldor.
The eyes of an eagle are sharper than his beak.
Did you not say we would meet again after we departed in the Wailing Hills? It is pleasing to me that it has turned out to be true. But not all is good along the banks of the Anduin, for trouble brews to the north. I speak to you of the fortress called Gundabad, which has become home to many orcs and winged drakes. It is a refuge of evil, but that evil does not stay there. It roams far afield and is a danger even to these lands. Oh yeah, so we're gonna take a couple looks. This is a good place to survey the lands to the east. We have here. Ah, the Beorninghús there. Yeah. Oh, and the Carrock. Oh. Yeah, of course. Yeah. The Eyrie is not on the Carrock itself. It's on the Misty Mountains, and then the Eagles dropped Thorin and company at the Carrock. Yeah, it's coming back. All is peaceful in the Beorning lands. This is a good place to survey the lands to the south. That is the Gladden Fields, and even further south, Lothlorien. There is conflict to the south, and the hills faintly tremble. This is a good place to survey the lands to the north. So, the Wells of Langflood. Oh, yeah. That bridge in there. We'll come to that bridge, but we are missing still a lot of things before we can come there. And that over there, this sort of white markings on the ground will also come to that place. The White Mare, I think it's called. Silent wisps of smoke from distant machines billow above the foothills.
This location must remain secure.
The several conflicts that embroil the lands hereabout are clear even to those who do not possess the eyes of my kind, Beriathan. Neither the woods nor the mountains are safe, and the people who dwell in the vales between will suffer if nothing is done. I cannot overextend my reach or exceed my wingspan in this, Beriathan, but I will keep an ever watchful eye upon these lands. If I see aught that threatens, I will warn those below of the danger with a call that will echo in the valleys. That way much harm may be avoided. And yet, what is this? No sooner have we made this pact than I see evil on the very horizon. Winged drakes descend from the heights, and it seems they make for the mighty stone that Beorn named the old the Carrock. It was dear to him, and in memory of him I will not permit these drakes to spill innocent blood upon its surface. And out of here, this is my command. Take Beriathan upon your wing and fly to battle with the drakes. There is little time to spare. Yeah, but can I take a picture of some of these eagles? It's rare for us to be able to find them all reunited like so.
With the swiftness of the northern winds.
We will bring you to the Carrock immediately. Get ready for flight and then fight.
In the morning mist, shadows came to the Carrock. My only thought was to protect the sacred rock with my life.
Talk to another here, okay. The drakes, they approach. I must take leave, for Lord Gwaihir has begged me not to interfere. I have faith in your skills, Warden. Farewell. Well, are the drakes... Yeah, landing on top of the Carrock. That's what I thought. Now to drive these drakes off the old stone steps of the Carrock. Okay. They keep coming. The leader of the Drake Assault has arrived. Varthmath has fallen. here we have Varthmath. Over here, Beriathan.
The Beornings once made safe the Riverlands. We will again.
There you are, Beriathan. Luck would have it that I decided to enter Beorn's cave at the Carrock's base precisely before these drakes attacked. A group entered the cave, but I fought them off. It would seem they tried to desecrate this sacred cave and the Carrock. We must tell Grimbeorn at once. He will be grateful to know that the Eagles gave you warning of this attack. Okay, yeah, it was a really short stop at the Carrock, but a very meaningful one in my opinion. It's always nice to visit this kind of locations. The Eagles, everything was great.
You and Varthmath have returned in safety.
And with a tale to tell. This wretched drake scale tells an even finer tale, for it says to me that you fought bravely and the Carrock remains unsullied. It is good that Gwaihir and the Eagles will keep watch over the Vales, for if they spy out the threats we will be able to deal with them more easily, and together this land will soon be made safe again.
The time has come to reopen the trade route with the elves, for evil will soon be driven from the Vales.
I relent, Beriathan. The time has come to reopen the trade route with the elves, for evil will soon be driven from the Vales. It is customary to celebrate such an occasion with a feast, and today will not be the exception. You will be welcome at my table, man. Yeah, oh, amazing feast.
Come, let us prepare the feast.
Yeah, let's go.
It is a Beorning tradition to signal both ends and beginnings with a feast.
Over here, Beriathan.
Life is sweet, like honey.
A Beorninghús feast is one of my favorite things. It is kind of you to volunteer to help us prepare for the feast. Beriathan, I must finish preparing the food. If you would please help set the table, we will be ready for the guests. Do not worry about the time. Rose, Star, Bud, Sprout, Lily, Violet, Cream, Lady, Clover, Honeybun, Honeypie, and Leaf will help you out. Thank you kindly, man. Oh, and some of the food will be out shortly to put on the table. Alright everyone, let's get to work. You hear the shuffling of hooves and paws growing louder and louder. Rose, Bud, Sprout, oh yeah, Star, Honeypie. Lady is a ship, okay. Lily and Honeybun. Honeybun is a pony. But Violet is another ship. You collect some fruit for the table from Violet. Ah, the spoons. Too far away. Leave. Don't do that. You collect some nuts for the table from Lily. They will help you? Come here, Honeypie. Okay. You guys need to to stay put. Oh, come on. Yeah, you're not making this any easy. Okay, I mean, for God's sake. How kind of Leaf? You should give this dinnerware to Sprout. Okay. How kind of Honeypie? You should give this dinnerware to Bud. Take it, take it, take it. How kind of Clover? You should give this dinnerware to Rose. You collect some honey for the table from Cream. Yeah, Honeybun, you come over here. Lady. Well, let me then get Lady. You collect some bread for the table from Lady. And if only... Onivan, yeah, come back here. Stop playing hard to get. How kind of Onivan you should give this dinnerware to Star? We're gonna give the dinnerware. Sprout. Helping to set the table. Star. But that's so great. And Rose. And here we have bread, nuts, honey, and fruit. A very nice feast. Enjoy a moment's rest. The guests are starting to arrive. I am sure it would not trouble Grimbeorn for an old wizard to listen to a story or two. The food is all prepared and ready for eating. It was kind of Grimbeorn to extend his welcome to me on my father's behalf. We have Grimbeorn, Legolas, Gerta, Sturkist, Haskell, and Gandalf. Now that the guests have arrived, dinner can begin. Oh, Gandalf is not going to sit. That's my spot. Okay. Alright. This is a good place to sit down. Talk to Grimbeorn. Yeah, sure. Just let me take a couple more pictures. Eat, eat! There is food enough for all of us. I thank you for gathering with me to feast and tell tales. It is a tradition we honor, for Beorn himself had done the same and learned much from tales spoken over a feast. Now let us eat. This food is delicious, Gerta. Now, Sturkist, you should know I did not make this entire feast alone. We all helped, you included. Yes, yes, but it is still delicious. Perhaps a story while we eat, Sturkist? Certainly, some have heard this one before, I think. Langor and I left the company of the elves in Felegoth. But then, we were ambushed by the trees themselves. Langor escaped, but not before I was captured by the mythical Taurogrim. Thank the bees, Langor and Beriathan came to my rescue when they did. Else, that would have been the last of me. A fine tale. Halkil, have you a story to tell too? Around the time Sturkis befell the Taurogrim, I too ran into trouble. Elf traders and I were escorting supplies and provisions from the Beorning lands. We made it through the forest gate, but not much farther. Spiders attacked the elves viciously, tearing them limb from limb. I tried to fight them off, but I could not save my companions. Then Beriathan rescued me from shock and escorted me back to Felegoth. I am glad that Beriathan is here with us, that is certain. Beriathan, you have been quite helpful to many folks in the north. What say you, Gandalf and Legolas, of Beriathan? My tales with Beriathan are numerous, many I am not sure you would believe. I would much like to listen rather than speak this night. You enchanted Beorn with your tales. I would very much like to hear one, Gandalf. Oh, very well. Who is the old man's arm? On the march to the Black Gate of Mordor, I worried the enemy at Minas Morgul would attack the host from the rear. I convinced Aragorn, the King of Gondor, and Beriathan here to delve into the Morgul Vale. We stood at the very doorstep of Minas Morgul upon the only bridge wide enough for armies of the enemy. Valiantly, we fought foes and destroyed the bridge to protect the host as they moved ever through North Ithilien. It was not long after that the Easterlings prepared an ambush for all of us. If not for Beriathan spotting the ambush, the Easterlings may have been successful. We surprised the raiding party, fought valiantly, and got the upper hand. The road to the Black Gate was clear. Astonishing. I agree. A fine story. Now I know how Beorn felt when he welcomed you, Gandalf, and 14 of your company into his lodge. What is another guest, so long as the tale continues? Pass the taters, please. Eat, eat. I will ask for no more tales to be told at this feast. Now both elves and eagles work with us to protect our home. Gandalf, Legolas, Beriathan, you are all to thank for making the Beorning land safer. Thank you for a feast and a fine evening, each and every one of you. Beriathan, I am glad that you have visited my home. You have been a great help and voice of reason. You are always welcome here, my friend. Thank you. Thank you for the feast. Thank you for the warm welcome and everything else, truly. Do you think Thranduil is displeased that his son has remained for so long in the Beorning lands? You and he did spend a considerable time convincing this old man to reopen the trade route, and he has been several days away. Ha! As if an elf must give any worry to the passage of time.
Do you think Thranduil is displeased that his son has remained for so long in the Beorning lands?
Such displeasure will surely do him some good, and I will not beg his forgiveness for it. I do ask you to spend some time assisting my people and the woodmen in the Vales of Anduin, for as you have proven, the war may be done, but the fighting is not yet finished. There are still foes aplenty that wish us harm, and they will need to be dealt with before it will be truly safe along the Great River. We will speak again soon, I am sure of it. Finally, we got the deed, Quests of the Wilderfolk. Well, Sites of the Vales of Anduin as well, the Eyrie and Rosgovel. Even though it was a memory, well, we'll come to Rosgovel on our own at some point, but we also have the Quests of the Wilderfolk. So 6 different quest lines. We've already completed one of them, so we're making good progress, but we've already taken enough time today, so that will be all for the moment. So yes, for the time being, this has been all on today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. Join me next time. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching, my friends, and stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.